I have a question. I did a complaint. This is Kiana Clark. We've talked.
Mhm.
Okay, so if I'm getting railroaded by the police department, how do I stop that?
What do you mean?
I communicated with you. I had multiple false arrests. They intervened and have arrested me for reporting crimes, detained me, falsified information in multiple reports, lies, slander. Will
Okay,
not
do you
investigate
know
my abuser.
what?
I'm sorry?
Huh?
They will not investigate my abuser or do a proper investigation of all the me getting railroaded.
Let me let me try to find you. 23rd of February. They clearly got no policy violations within a second week.
Yes, I'm aware. A supervisor, supposedly she was a supervisor, called me. But since this is the Community of Police Oversight,
Mhm.
okay, and your name again?
Taylor.
I'm sorry?
Taylor.
Okay. I want to know my rights because for years police have been sabotaging. Right now I can't get right. I don't have rights to get services at multiple different organizations. Um, a lot of things are sabotage services that I get. Um, Government programs I'm not eligible for out of corruption. I'm not eligible for any advocacy or assistance in DV. I'm not eligible to see my daughter out of corruption under supervised visits, and my rights are being violated. CPS has violated my rights and cover up with CPS. I believe the police department is behind it. I report crimes. They lie and slander me in reports. Will not do an investigation, cover for this abuser that I believe is causing all the havoc. So, what are my rights if they won't investigate? And with Internal Affairs will not investigate. I can't get
Um,
legal assistance.
as far as your complaint, I can't tell you about any rights that you have. That's that's not something I do. As far as your complaint, you do have the option to do what we call a civilian review form, which means that after you file your complaint with Internal Affairs and you're not happy with the decision they made regarding your complaint, you can fill out a review form that is for our office. It will be presented in front of our board, and our board will then decide if they want our investigator to investigate your case outside of the police department. I also suggest that you talk to Lieutenant Jacobs. Lieutenant Jacobs is the one that briefed us on your case. When we went over it in our Wednesday. So we went over. I watched the body cam footage of one of the incidences where the police came to your home. I don't know if you remember or if they've been there multiple times, but they came into your apartment. I believe you started recording on your tablet and were talking about situations with your daughter and stuff. Do you remember that?
I do.
Okay, so that was what was attached to this complaint here. And I watched everything. The police did what they could. We were told that with the paperwork that the police did, it was correct. They were struggling because it wasn't too much that they could do with what they had, and that was the issue.
Well, see, the thing of it is when I tried to report at Salvation Army that I was getting a prank call, someone was threatening me and saying that they were going to come to the shelter and to drag me all over it. The police lied about 911 calls then too. I don't know why there's such a big party, so many people. I did not call 911. So they lied on me. That's not appropriate for police to lie.
Where are you getting that information from? When you say the police lied on you,
They said that I called 911 and I called the non-emergency line. They denied to do a police report because there was a lot of cover-up and corruption would keep me away from my daughter. They blatantly lied and said that I called 911 and I didn't. I just don't know why I keep reporting these things for years, and it's routinely like I'm not getting heard from so many parties. It was a blatant lie.
And this is just this one situation. I can't speak on everything else.
Well, it's all a whole together with the Community of Police Oversight. This is what I called.
I can only talk about what you filed a complaint about.
Right, and I didn't file a complaint with that, but you said you watched the video, and I'm letting you know with the Community of Police Oversight that are supposed to be protecting people, right? What is your agenda with the Community of Police Oversight? What do you do? What is your purpose? Okay, so you would need to know that with that complaint that you watched the video that there was a blatant lie, and also in addition to that, someone called mental health people out to have them come and intervene in that report. That's terrifying to me because I have multiple false arrests and police have detained me multiple times out of corruption. So for them to call and threaten me to get detained to cover up for the conspiracy of me not having access to my daughter, multiple CPS workers have lied and disappeared out of the situation because they didn't follow proper protocol and taking my rights away. So then they just erased and vanished. Now CPS threatens the police. I've already went over this, and mistreats me and denies me services. They will not do a proper investigation, threaten the police, mistreat me when I go in, and will not investigate multiple reports. So multiple different places I can't get services, advocacy, so I'm still in this. Police are still lying, slandering, would cover up. I call and call and call, can't get services. And my access to my daughter's controlled.
You're asking the police for services that's not.
I just communicated to you that the police lied in reports and have arrested me for reporting crimes.
So I'm trying to tell you, with what you filed a complaint about, with what you did send me, and that I can only see and look into what you complained about.
Well, we're getting into, if you're the Community of Police Oversight, police lied, number one. Number two, somebody called out mental health people to intervene in a report. I have a lot of slander and been detained. That is critical evidence for the Community of Police Oversight to be aware of.
I need you to listen to me. I need you to listen to me.
I don't know why this keeps happening when I give evidence, but okay, I'm listening. The phone's breaking up.
The police are allowed to call out the right care team. They do that just to make sure you're okay. If they feel that something is wrong with you, they just do that for protection to make sure you're okay or whatever. The police are allowed to do that. That's why right care was created. Because they deal with a lot of people that have mental health, that may go through mental health issues and don't yet know it. It's a lot of different situations. So police are trained to, if you may feel that something is wrong, just call right care to ease the situation. So they are allowed to do that. The complaint that you sent me with that incident, I did watch the body cam footage. The police did what they could. I watched it. I saw it. They did what they could. They cannot interfere in a civil matter. And they told you that on the video. But they did their part in what they could. This information that the police wrote for you, you can take that to court and deal with it that way. From what I saw from this complaint that you sent me, there is no lie, there is no slander, there isn't anything like that. I'm looking at it right now.
Okay, ma'am. What I was initially what I communicated to you, and you interrupted me for that and for feedback. In Salvation Army, I was threatened. This is an overall of police. I can't. I'm trying to give you evidence. I can't. You won't have an accurate. You won't have an accurate idea of what's going on if you interrupt the evidence.
We cannot talk about.
I'm aware of that, ma'am. I'm calling because it's the Community of Police Oversight, and I wanted an overview of what I can do when these crimes are being ignored that the police commit. So I'm giving you an overall view of my experience with the police department as a whole that you're interrupting. Because if you have a full picture of how Dallas, how that's a pattern, I can't communicate the crimes, ma'am.
You told me all of that. So what I'm telling you is what I can help you with. It's up to you if you want to take that or not. So you can do the review for.
Well, I call for a purpose, and I'm not sure if you. I mean, if you can't help me with the purpose, I would like to give you an explanation of why I called, and to give you the evidence of multiple police departments slandering me, lying in reports, violating my rights, detaining me out of corruption, arresting me. So if you are aware of that, then it would give you a broader idea of what happened when they called right care out, and why that would be so terrifying for me. Because they called right care and detained me out of corruption. It was a blatant lie. I didn't call 911, and that was the first time that police lied to prevent me from making a report. It happened another time at Salvation Army when someone said they were going to drag me all over the shelter. There was a police there, the one that you said it was okay, he didn't have to get me in a safe environment. Had I been placed in a safe environment, I wouldn't have been detained on false pretenses. They had been lying on me and mistreating me, so I knew that was not safe for me to be there. And I tried the best that I could with all the cover-up and corruption to get out that toxic environment, and then eventually someone lied on me, 3 police rushed me and detained me. And now it has evaporated and erased like all the multiple other reports that I've made. So if I'm reporting to multiple different police departments and getting violated by multiple police departments in a whole, arrested, detained, and all of this is going on, and then they use right care to control and sabotage and keep me from reports, and use that to tamper with evidence, where do I go, ma'am?
So we can only, I can't touch anything from other police departments. That's one. If something has happened to you with other police departments, you would need to take that to their internal affairs as well.
Well, I'm explaining that a Dallas Police Department would not let me report that someone said they were going to drag me all over the shelter and lied about 911 calls then too. And then the same thing happened in this video that you think is appropriate. They lied. I did not make a call to 911. I made a call to the non-emergency line. That was a blatant lie.
We have the call sheet. It shows multiple calls from you to get police out to help and get a police report. And so that's what they came and did.
Right, but they threatened me with saying that I could possibly get arrested for calling 911. Well, so the lady that came out to supposedly help, the right care sent out. I shouldn't be violated and mistreated for reporting crimes. These are crimes I'm reporting. For police to do that in your Community of Police Oversight and you're ignoring that, I've reported a lot of crimes to you across the board.
Whatever right care said or did, it's not the police department.
Well, the thing of it is the police department did make a false statement, which I thought was a crime. It's saying that I could call 911 when I didn't, and I called the non-emergency line. And then you're saying that you see in your log.
The non-emergency line is 911.
Okay, well, I called the non-emergency line. So why would they threaten me and I had to report what was going on with my daughter? I haven't had proper access to my daughter in a long time, and there's a lot of parties enforcing that. My experience is unbelievable, so I'm trying to obtain evidence. I don't know why they would interrupt that.
So what I'm looking at right here is what you should have gotten is a police report regarding your daughter. So Okay.
They didn't give me a police
Let me
report. They left.
let me start from the top. You're supposed to request a police report. They wrote down an incident number on a piece of paper and gave it to you that night. They don't do their report till they go back into their office. So you were supposed to request that or call for it or whatever. So let me start back from the top. The non-emergency number is connected to 911. That is something that I found out not too long ago. I thought it was separate as well, but because of police short staff or whatever, non-emergency, when you call the non-emergency number, they will say, thank you for calling 911. What is your emergency? Or how can I help you? So that's something I just found out sometime last year. So the non-emergency number is 911. So if you call the non-emergency
Ma'am, okay, thank you. Okay, I know we've been on the phone a long time.
Let me finish. So those phone calls that you're talking about, they're all connected. So we have that. With that being said, that is true. We have that. You were making phone calls.
How is that relevant to multiple false arrests, ma'am? And police denying police reports, and me getting threatened, a criminal trespass for trying to report identity theft. I did put that in the other report. They still will not let me report it. I still have not reported the identity. These are crimes, ma'am. I'm reporting to you. You're the Community of Police Oversight.
I don't take crimes that you are reporting.
Well, the Dallas police threatened to give me a criminal trespass. I put that in the report for trying to report identity theft. They won't let me report it. I came back with all the documentation they said they needed. They threatened my arrest for me trying to report identity theft because I think this man was behind it.
Okay, and that is what you put on the complaint form.
I did put that on the complaint, and you said that they was too far back. So then, in addition to that, my food stamps were stolen too. They wouldn't let me report that. In addition to that, I thought I've already reported this to you. In addition to that, my some kind of way, I had problems with my child support checks. And still can't report that either. How in the world can someone talk Attorney General into taking someone's child support payments?
That is not something the police deals with. They cannot deal with child support payments.
Well, I've given you a lot of incriminating information, ma'am.
You don't give me incriminating information.
Okay, so if this is a Community of Police Oversight, and I just told you that police threatened my arrest for trying to report identity theft and will not let me report it.
Because you're not listening to me.
This keeps happening.
You're not listening to me whatsoever. And I'm trying my best to help you and at least get to the bottom of stuff that we can deal with. Any kind of civil situation, civil matter with their daughters, you're not being able to get to your daughter, child support, I cannot touch that. What you're telling me is you were trying to report identity theft, and if the police wouldn't let you report that, that is something that I can deal with. If they would not let you report identity theft and take your paperwork, that is an issue. That is what I need on a complaint form.
I've already did that complaint initially.
I'm looking at your complaint right now. I have tried to report multiple crimes, which include stalking, interference with child custody. Detective Perez, I believe, hindered investigation by putting misleading information in the report, as well as multiple other officers.
That was a second report.
About identity theft.
That was a second report, ma'am. The first one?
Huh?
The first one, I included that in it. You said that it was long and all over the place? It was in the first report. So this is just a pattern, a revolving door that I wouldn't believe if I hadn't experienced it. with the Community of Police Oversight, I would think that I would have a little bit more compassion with reporting false arrests and police tampering with evidence and putting wrong things in the report,
Okay.
because I thought that that's what this agency dealt with.
Compassion as possible. Again, I am looking at what was sent to me with the complaint that you sent in and what we have, which is the Community of Police Oversight job. You sent in a complaint that is something we look into. With that situation that you sent in, the police did everything they could to help. It's some stuff they could not deal with. If you're saying I could not report identity theft, I need a complaint that says that specifically. On this day at this time, I even called the police for help or whatever, to report identity theft. They would not take my report, and they would not take the proof that I had of the identity theft. That's a complaint.
Ma'am, this has been going on for years. This would be the third complaint. I think that there's a lot of corruption, ma'am. I think that my situation is.
I don't have that, and I can't.
I'm communicating my experience, ma'am. Community of Police Oversight, and it's routinely gets interrupted by multiple parties.
It's not been open for 3 years.
What I'm trying to communicate with you is that I have been reporting multiple times different things, and there's been cover up for years. That's what I'm reporting to you. So this would be my third complaint, which is what I'm trying. And I mean, and then you blame me for talking. Multiple parties interrupt evidence, and then blame me for it. She hung up.